for a noon kickoff again. I think Jerry just said it was 105,000. I think they were all in their seats for the kickoff. And again, that meant a lot to us. We came from the Skull session and had a ton of people in there cheering us on, and then we felt it throughout the game. And I know that for any team coming in here, that can be overwhelming. And feeling Buckeye Nation again was really important for us. And again, couldn't be more thankful for the students and for everybody who showed up today. So I think that really got us going early in the game. We started fast, and then I think we were able to sustain it throughout the second half.
We'll open up questions over to the right. Austin?
Ryan, at one point you called last week kind of just a funky game. How different does this one feel compared to week one for you?
Yeah, I don't think this one was as funky. I thought that we got up to the 28-0 lead. It was at halftime. Wasn't as fast and furious. And then we had to regroup at halftime and then come out and win the third quarter. We talked about doing a great job coming out at halftime. And but that was something we were emphasizing really all week, because it just didn't leave a great taste in our mouth coming off the field last week. But I thought we sustained it and finished it the right way this week.
Far left, Bill?
Ryan, what did you think of the way that JK came out today, and what did you think of his block just when Justin there no show?
Yeah, I think JK was irritated all week. Just the same kind of thing. It just nothing fit right last week. It just didn't feel right. It was kind of one of those strange opening games, but we worked hard this week. Stud in the O-line did a great job. I mean, I'm not sure if there was one snap they didn't blitz. I mean, they were blitzing from sideways, every which way, and the guys covered it up. They hit us on a couple early on, but then we started to cover them up. And JK, when he got to the second level, he was rolling today. And I thought it was great to get JK going, and the O-line did an unbelievable job with that. And a tribute to Kevin Wilson, a tribute to Stud and all the guys who worked on that this week. I thought the scout team gave an excellent look all week. It's really, really important. It was real, and so when we went out to the field, we were able to execute it.
Over to the right, Tim.
Ryan, you spoke all summer about how you thought the defense was going to be better, despite our questions about it coming off last year's stuff. Does today's performance certify your faith, your confidence in where y'all are going that way?
I think it's another step in the journey. It's what we've seen in practice every day. Going up against them in spring and then during preseason, I knew they were going to be tough, and they're getting there. It's not a finished product by any means, but they're getting there. And I think what Greg Madison, Jeff Hafley, and the whole entire defensive staff has done to kind of put that all together, get those guys, coming off the ball. Larry Johnson's guys up front, I thought, owned the line of scrimmage today, did a really good job. They were flying around, and that's kind of what we envisioned when we put this together. We all got together, I guess back in January when it all came about. But this is a great start for those guys. I thought they were running around again, tackling well, creating turnovers against a good Cincinnati team.
Over to the left, Ari.
Hey Ryan, before you got up here, did you catch the end of the Michigan game?
No, what happened?
They won in overtime. I just didn't know if you were watching it down there.
No. we were singing and dancing in the locker room.
You've been envisioning this game, I think, for a long time, given the importance of it, and being an in-state staff or an in-state program with Luke and stuff. In terms of just everything that went today, where is this team in comparison to maybe where you might have envisioned it being when you think about it this summer?
I don't know. I still don't know. I think today was another step, though, in the journey. It was the right step, where we want to be. We talked about coming into the game, we want to be the best in the country at what we do. And that's not easy to do. I mean, a lot of people can say that, but we take a lot of pride in that. So if it's Drew Chrisman, Drew Chrisman has to be the best punter in the country. I thought today he was awesome. Liam McCullough has to be the best long snapper in the country. And with that comes seriousness. And we want to have the best defense, the best offense, the best special teams. And so with that comes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. And I think we're on the right journey that way. But we're going to conference play next week, and we have to start all over again. Because when you come into the game, so much comes into it preparation-wise, physically, emotionally, mentally, to make sure you execute what you need to execute on Saturday. And so we have to start that journey again. Every game in college football, to me, every week is a whole new season. And so we have to keep building on this. But I thought it was good to get some depth in the game again in the second half and see those guys play and fight all the way to the end.
Over to the right, Jared.
Hi, Brian. You mentioned this week that you thought one of Justin's best plays last week was in throwing a ball away, third quarter with a defender in his face. Was there a moment today that maybe would be off our radar that you saw him make that gave you hope for where he's going?
There were actually a few, but the one offhand was in the second drive when we got the ball back. We were in the red zone. We called a play action pass. We were expecting man coverage. We did not get man coverage, and they played zone, and there was nowhere for him to go. He stuck his foot in the ground and scored a touchdown on the run. And his ability to do that for us is kind of the X factor, because if it's there, we take it, and we're pretty efficient throwing the ball right now, which is good. We've got a long way to go, but we're getting there. But then his feet are the X factor. And if we can just keep us on schedule, we don't even have to scramble for 80 yards, but if he can turn a 1st and 10 shot into 2nd and 6, that keeps this offense on schedule. And the only time we really got ourselves off schedule was the holding call, I think, in the first drive. We were rolling, and that's kind of what happened to us the week before. But then from then on, I don't think we had any more holding calls, and so we got ourselves in rhythm. But overall, I thought it was a solid performance, but another step in his progression.
Over to the left, Doug.
Ryan, it seemed like Justin was comfortable outside of structure and in structure today. For instance, he had the one where he was directed traffic and then threw long to Olave and came back a few plays later. I think it hung in the pocket and hit Garrett Wilson in the end zone for a touchdown. Just both facets of him throwing like that today. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that's what we've all been talking about, in these press conferences, and we've been talking to him about that in the preseason, is that once it becomes live, now you find out what it's like. And once you get out of the pocket, there's times you got to throw it away. There was a time where we did have a play action pass. I think they dropped 8 again on us. They popped that on us, and he took a sack, I think, for like -4. All he had to do was throw the ball away. It's something he can learn from. He did throw some others away. He did create too, because he can create. He can buy himself some more time. I think our receivers got to do a little bit better job of staying with him and getting open, because we call it second part of the route, and he's able to do that for us. So, again, another learning opportunity for everybody.
Over to the right, Clay.
Yeah, I don't think you ever allowed them to feel good on offense. Was it just base defense, win one-on-one battles, you're just whipping them at the line of scrimmage?
I don't think it's that simple, but I do think we did win the line of scrimmage. They do a good job. They got a good team, and they have a good scheme over there. And it's not that simple. There was some things that I thought we did schematically that were good, but at the end of the day, it comes down to toughness. It comes down to tackling and winning the line of scrimmage.
Did you think Chase was going pick 6 right there?
Oh, well, yes, I did, actually. I almost blew up my Achilles jumping up and down. Still feeling a little loose right there. But then, Chase also comes back with the blocked field goal. And, that anytime you have a chance for a blocked field goal, there's a chance that thing goes back. And it kind of hit his finger and it went back, and Damon caught it, but couldn't quite return it. But that's what we're trying to get done. And that was a big play in the game, kind of when we swing for us early.
Front row left, Bill.
Right, 2 questions. First, how concerned were you coming into this game, given that UC is a good team, Luke Fickell was going to have these guys motivated? And second, I know it's only week 2 and you'll find things that need to be corrected, but can you start to see the potential of this team?
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves at all. We'll get on the film and keep working at it, but yeah, we're very concerned. This is a team who's won a lot of football games. They're very sound. They create a lot of problems on defense. Like we said, they blitz every snap, so you really got to do a good job with preparation. And again, credit to our staff. We put a lot of time in trying to fit up all these blitzes. But yeah, we were concerned. I do think though this team has a chance, but the goal is to be 1-0. And I know, again, I say that all the time. It sounds cliche, but if you can't get ahead of yourselves, we got to enjoy this win and then on to Indiana.
Third row right, Tony.
Brian, you mentioned the 2 throwaways, but Justin was still 20 of 25 passing. How would you assess his accuracy and his ability to put the ball where it needs to be?
Yeah, there was some really accurate throws out there. I thought the touchdown to Garrett Wilson was off the charts. The throw and catch there, so that was NFL material right there. Top shelf, that's what we call it, in the back of the end zone, and then the catch for Garrett, which Garrett had a mistake early in the game, and he could have gone in the tank. He didn't. He came right back and made a big catch for us, and that's what we need. We need guys to make plays in the red zone. And, receivers and quarterbacks make their money on 3rd down in the red zone, and they did.
But there were some other ones I can't really remember. The back shoulder, I'll tell you what, the back shoulder fade between he and Ben Victor was off. That was really big time, because that's something we work really hard on. And we talk about all the different things that come with that. That doesn't just happen. And challenge Ben. If Ben can win those one-on-one battles for us, we'll go. Because it starts with the ex-receiver. He makes that play, and then we go on to score that drive. And again, that kind of kickstarted us a little bit too.
Time for 2 more questions. Over to the left, Rob.
Right, I know you're a former quarterback. How much, everyone's talking about Justin, how much are the receivers helping him? You said that maybe that they need to keep up with him. Can you explain that a little bit? And are you happy with the receiver play so far?
Yeah, I think so. I think guys are getting open. They're catching the ball for the most part. It's not all perfect, but we're building. We're working on this offense. We're figuring out what pass schemes fit Justin and fit the receivers that we had. We lost Terry and Paris and Johnny last year. That was a whole different crowd. This is a whole new group. Tight ends are involved with it. The running backs are involved with it. So we're building. We're learning. You probably see some different pass combinations that we had in the past. Last year it was a lot more crossers than it is now, and so we'll keep building that package as we go. But I think the receivers are doing a good job. The older guys are stepping up, and then the young guys, we have to keep bringing them along.
And final question over here to the right, Dom.
Coach, you guys worked so hard in the offseason to get the defense back on track. Being able to preserve the shutout, and the way you guys did it at the end, what's it mean to your coaches and to your team to put a goose egg on that?
Yeah, well, again, it's a tribute to our defensive staff. I think they do a great job. You know, Jeff and Greg, and then Al is doing a really good job with those linebackers. Larry's, we all know how great he is, the best in the country at what he does. And Matt Barnes helping out, you know, in the back end as well. And those guys, to me, put together a great game plan. But they're preaching fundamentals, they're preaching technique, and they're preaching running the ball, pursuit, tackling, and the guys are doing it. But the challenge was that last week when some of the depth got in there, they went right down the field and scored on us, and that didn't sit well with those guys. And so the challenge was to not let them score. And they got good teams, and they're a good team, and they got good players. And so they went right down the field. But to strip the ball out on the 1 yard line shows that we got a backbone, shows that we're going to keep fighting. And I thought that was a good sign for the defense.
Coach, thank you very much.
I'm going to answer your question.
Master T.
Yeah, just asked about Master. I just wanted to, I thought Master ran hard again today. And if he can continue to practice the way that he has been the last couple of weeks, I think he's going to have a good season.
Great. Coach, thank you.